breaking news on WDSU.
And we're breaking into programming to bring you a big Saints black and gold update. I'm Travers Mackle, joined by Fletcher Mackle. The worst kept secret looks like it's about to become reality.
Yeah, Kellen Moore is being hired as the New Orleans Saints' next head coach. The 36-year-old Moore, of course, helped the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl here in New Orleans just 2 days ago. I believe we have some video of him. Kellen Moore will now become the youngest, or there's a graphic, a bio of him. He will be the youngest current head coach in the NFL at just 36 years old. He will be the youngest head coach in Saints history. Kellen Moore was a star quarterback at Boise State from 2008 through 2011. He then was a backup quarterback in the NFL with the Detroit Lions and then the Dallas Cowboys. Now you're looking at his coaching career. Right when he retired following the 2017 season, he became the Cowboys quarterbacks coach. He then became the offensive coordinator, and in 2 seasons, 2 of his 4 seasons there, they won 12 games. He is an accomplished offensive mind. He then spent 1 season with the Los Angeles Chargers. He was hired last year to reinvigorate a Philadelphia Eagles offense, and he did just that. Yes, he has Saquon Barkley and some star players, but nonetheless, he did a great job helping them win the Super Bowl, and they were masterful in the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. This is actually video you're looking at right now of Kellen Moore on the field Sunday in Super Bowl 59. And we're going to see a lot more video of him in the Dome because he is now, again, taking over as the head coach of the Saints.
And the NFL Network is reporting a deal is being finalized right now. So, I mean, could we expect an introductory press conference in the next couple of days? We know the big Eagles victory Super Bowl parade is coming up Friday on Valentine's Day.
What I have been told from sources is that there will be an introductory media conference on Wednesday. Team owner Gail Benson, team general manager Mickey Loomis, many of the players who are in town. I would expect a huge pomp and circumstance event on Thursday, and then Kellen Moore will go back one more time on Friday for the big victory parade on Broad Street to celebrate the Eagles championship. And then he really gets to work, hiring a staff, determining the future of Derek Carr, many veteran players. Look, he's leaving one of the most well-run, successful organizations in the NFL to take over one that fired a coach, that lost 7 straight games, that had their worst year in 20 years. Kellen Moore has a lot of work to do, but I think it's a good hire. Look, a lot of people questioned what were the Saints doing. Make no mistake, Kellen Moore was always one of their top 3 choices. He was right there with Aaron Glenn. He was right there with Joe Brady. They targeted him, and they waited on him, and they can successfully say that they got their guy. This is one of the guys they wanted all along.
And look, he... not to get too into the football of this, but he had Saquon Barkley, who's one of the best running backs in football. He comes to a team with Alvin Kamara, who is, again, one of the better running backs in football. So he does have some weapons on the Saints team.
Sure. Again, the Saints do have a lot of nice players. They're a team that has been in it to win it the last few years. It's going to be interesting to find out what his philosophy is. Does he want to go younger and start a new era, so to say, or does he want to continue to build and push for that championship with the guys they have right now? Again, the one thing about team general manager Mickey Loomis, I always say this, he empowers his head coaches. Sean Payton wanted Drew Brees, he got him. Dennis Allen wanted Derek Carr, he got him. What does Kellen Moore want? They are going to execute his vision. Speaking of the Eagles, head coach Nick Sirianni talked about Kellen Moore. This is before the Super Bowl and the kind of coach he is and the head coach he believes he'll be.
Yeah, I think Kellen is very detailed in everything that he does. Very smart. Has a great, played at a very high level, has done this at a very high level, so can relate to the players and that aspect. Puts the guys in good positions to succeed, can lead men, is a good leader of men. As I get to sit here and watch him, install the offense, you can see that and you can say, man, he'd be great in front of the team. He's in front of the offense right now, but man, he'd be great in front of the entire team, inspiring the team, getting his message across to the team, coaching football to the team, coaching the ins and outs of football. Just can't say enough good things about what he's done here as our coordinator. How much I think of him as a play caller and offensive coordinator. I think of him very highly as a person. Got great man of character, and everything that he stands for. I think he'd be I should temper my. He'd be a great head coach. I have no doubt in my mind. He will be a great head coach.
And look, the Saints are not going soft here when it comes to the salary. According to reports, he's going to make a lot of money as the Saints head coach.
Yeah, Adam Schefter, the insider with ESPN, reporting that the deal could pay Kellen Moore up to $10 million annually. So the Saints are going all in for one of the better young offensive minds to make sure they hopefully get back to the playoffs sooner rather than later.
Yeah, all right, much more with Fletcher Mackel. The Saints finalizing the deal, according to the NFL Network, to bring Kellen Moore in as their head coach. We're going to have more in just about an hour at noon. Until then, let's return you to regularly scheduled programming.